So, on the way home from the ocean, attoe asked me if I'd been thinking about proprioception while down there. I replied, no, not at all. Proceeded to digress in my habitual nature. Well, now I'd like to return to the question to explore my subsequent reflections for a few moments. The term proprioception refers to one of a group called the near senses. It's traditional in our culture to designate awareness and definition to the external, or the five senses. We all know touch, taste, sight, hearing, and smell. While effective for much information, these senses fail to inform us directly about ourselves. The near senses include, but may not be limited to, proprioception, interoception, and the more familiar, the vestibular sense. Proprioceptors are the nerve systems from muscles, especially from connective ligament tissue. Interoceptors are the message systems from the soft tissues and the organs. The vestibular sense is provided by tubes in the inner ear that translate the effect of gravity upon our head. These senses combined provide our relationship to space. Now, of course, these inner senses flow seamlessly into the five senses and all the other psychophysical systems that really combine to be us. The consideration of much of this in Western society began with F.M. Alexander in the 1920s and 30s. Alexander developed a system of sensory education still taught today, common in performing arts programs, which is where I was introduced to it. These concepts are also explored and validated in science and medicine in contemporary settings. The hours in the ocean provided me with some insights, though the hallmark of the near senses is that they're so intimate and innate that they generally escape any notice at all. The two big issues that I sort of working with are buoyancy and breathing. Now, the wetsuit provides a relatively warm, very buoyant experience. The ocean itself provides an infinite variety of forces to react to and a demand for attention to the environment. The buoyancy allowed me to easily float on my back without constant small strokes that I usually need to keep my head out of the water. This restful, horizontal position gave me a chance to concentrate on my breathing. Breathing provides the opportunity to feel the ribs moving up and down in congress with the diaphragmatic motion. This can be a key part of sensory education, as efficiency in breathing often manifests with other results. I certainly floated and breathed consciously for quite a while, feeling my ribs and viscera moving up and down. In fact, I became so relaxed at one point that the rippling current rhythms suddenly gave me a wave of seasickness, more intimate than anything I've ever experienced. Upon quickly returning to a vertical posture and letting the water out of my ears, the kind of googly guts vanished. Perhaps this is interoception, the vestibular sense, sending out their messages, or mismessages maybe. Of course, there's also the washing machine effect you get when you get rolled underwater, which results in vestibular disorientation. And of course, the balancing on the board itself involves a whole bunch of this. I'd say swimming underwater in general provides a pretty good environment to just monitor the efficiency of the breath, how fast you use it up, how fast your pulse is going. It's real easy to tense up and drive the metabolism up and not be able to really hold your breath for very long at all. This is something I've noticed long before being introduced to the near senses or anything like that. It just helps you stay underwater longer if you can be relaxed. And when you panic, you run out of air fast. Well, that's about it for my observations on the near senses on the attoe surf trip, but ciao.
Thinking about that. I don't know. Actually, I have a drain bottle I can use. You just fill in.